Hey friends, welcome back to Mustard Seed Homesteading. My name is Megan, and if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you and I want you to know that I am so glad that you're here. What we're going to do today is walk around the garden. I am going to be giving weekly garden tours as well as harvesting because there's just so much going on in the month of August, from things that are thriving to things that are dying and all in between. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the first bed. This is all basil surrounding a bunch of different peppers. And I think there are some that are ready to harvest. I know that there's a lot of flowers, so that means a lot of peppers are gonna be blooming here pretty soon. But this one I don't think is quite ready. But this one, my red cayenne peppers, this one is definitely ready. So I'm gonna grab this one. And I believe that my Anaheim chili pepper is ready. Oh yeah, look at that, is really big. So let's grab this one too. Now I do have some hot habaneros that aren't quite ready because they have to turn orange, but there's quite a bit on here. There's another one here. And then there's, you know, some flowers right there. So that one's gonna be bursting with some fruit. Some peppers. And then I want to say there is, other than a lot of flower buds, I want to say there's also some of my jalapenos over here are going to start to fruit, so I'm excited for that one. But this one is kind of a slow go. I've harvested a few, but I'm still waiting for a whole lot more. This one has been fun. I do want to say this one, these are like mini bell peppers. So they're not supposed to get big. My last video, I showed 2 red ones, and I already harvested those because those had to get harvested. I was hoping to wait for our video, but I didn't want them to go bad. But there's a lot of fruit on this one, and they're super cute. They're little bite-sized bell peppers. So I'm glad I got this one. This one was a lot of fun. So those should be shooting out soon too. Now, this wood bed that I've shown in previous videos have all of my green beans and my marigolds that are planted on the outside here for pest control. But not a lot of them are showing any signs of green beans ready to be harvested, but you can see there's just a ton of flowers. So those are going to be shooting out pretty soon, and I can't wait because as soon as those start to shoot out, I'm going to be replanting some more green beans before the winter comes. And then while we're over here by the wood bed, I do have some bags of tomatoes right here, and it looks like we have some tomatoes that are ready to be harvested. And look at this beautiful basil. I know this is ready for me to harvest. And I'm going to be harvesting a lot because there's a ton of basil in my garden. And these right here, I've been very surprised at how well these have been growing and just the shape. These are called money makers. I received these seeds from when I purchased those garden and minute grids that you see on my beds. And I've really enjoyed seeing how much this is fruited. There's just a ton of fruit on these plants, these tomato plants. And so, I don't know, I might have to add moneymaker to my yearly tomato growing because it's, look at all this fruit. So, I'm pretty excited about this. And then look at all the little cherry tomatoes over here. Now these are my extra bags of tomatoes that I just have over here because I just have bags of tomatoes everywhere. So let's just grab these, and then I cannot wait to show you the amount of cucumbers that have been growing on that trellis.
One of my favorite ways to grow food in my garden are my grow bags. Now, while you do have to water them more frequently than something in the ground or a tall raised bed, they are easy to move anywhere and great to use to fill in extra spots in the garden.
All right, and here is my trellis of cucumbers. I have been waiting to harvest some of these cucumbers with you guys because there's just so many and so many more fruits that are coming too. So let's see what we got. I do want to show you these two over here at the end. I'm going to wait to harvest those because I think they get as large as these. So I want them to grow a little bit more, but this one we will definitely harvest, and we'll harvest those too.
What I think contributed to me having a better harvest of cucumbers this year was I did not prune any runners. There were times where I pruned leaves off if they were very diseased, but I left the runners on, which I think allowed more fruit to blossom.
Okay, I'm on a stool to grab this one. This one is very large, and I'm so excited to harvest this with you guys. Look at how big this is. It's bigger than my hand. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. You guys, I did not have a good harvesting year of cucumbers last year. This is really a huge accomplishment for me to be able to harvest this large of a cucumber. Let's see if I could do it with one hand. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful this is. Look at how long this is and how big this cucumber is. I could not be more thrilled. Oh my gosh, the struggle last year for cucumbers was so difficult, and this year I'm so happy. I really am. Beautiful. Okay, so I have this one over here. I have that one right there. I have another one right here, another one right over here, as well as another one right there. But I'm going to hold off on harvesting those, and I'm going to harvest these other really large ones first. Now, this beautiful cucumber right here is called a White Wonder. I've had really good success with these this year. And I want to say this is my third one or maybe fourth one that I've harvested this summer. But look at how massively big this is. And the inside of it is so beautiful and it tastes delicious. So let's go ahead and harvest this. See if I could do it with one hand. Okay, yes, I can. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm definitely going to be growing these next year too.
I forgot to record the next one, but it's huge.
Look at how large this cucumber is. It's my hand and half of my arm. It is one of the most beautiful cucumbers I've ever grown, which is why I plan to grow this every year. Now this one you would think would be ready for harvest, but it will get larger, longer, and straighter and actually thicker. So I'm going to leave this one. Hopefully I can harvest this with you guys next week. Now I do have one more over here on the outside of the trellis, and I'm going to definitely harvest this. This one did have that hole that I was talking about, so I don't know if those little bugs got in there or not, but we'll find out. So look at how big this one is too. And then if you can see that hole, that's where those bugs, right there. That's where those bugs got in. So I don't know, this might be a goner of a cucumber, or I might have to maybe cut from like here up and throw it away, I'm not sure. But it's a beautiful cucumber. Here is a look at the trellis on this side. Now you will see that quite a bit of leaves were cut off. During the week I cut the leaves off because they were getting diseased. But what I did was I kept the runners, because so far in my observing the cucumber plants, I've noticed that when I keep the runners, I feel like I've been getting more cucumbers that way. And if one plant got diseased or wasn't doing very well, that runner kind of took over, and I think that's what's given me success this year. And here's the other side of green beans. No green beans yet, but a lot of flower buds. Look at how pretty those are. Now, if you remember me sharing about this bed, this is my bed of peppers, and they've grown very tall even from last week. This cascade of leaves that you see is actually my Connecticut Wonder green beans. I had those in this bed last year, and I was gonna try to get a little trellis, but it's vining through the pepper plants, and I'm just gonna let it do whatever it wants. So far my pepper plants aren't being affected by it growing through there. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of flowers, and we get to finally harvest our first pepper from this bed. Actually, I take that back. I did harvest a sweet banana pepper probably in June or July, and I think there's another one growing. Let me see if I can find it. I think I saw another one growing. Maybe not. Maybe I'm getting the beds confused. But I do have a serrano pepper, and we're gonna go harvest that right now. No, I wasn't seeing anything. I was right. Look at that. These are one of my new favorite peppers, the sweet banana, because they're not hot and they're super crispy. I'm gonna be planting a lot more of these next year. But I'm getting another one, and I see some more fruit, so that's exciting. I wanna say I at least have another month and a half to be able to grow a lot of peppers, so I'm hoping to get a huge harvest. There's our first serrano. Let's harvest it. And there's another one too, but that's not quite ready yet. Now on to harvesting more of my Martino Romas. I've been harvesting these weekly. This on the edge of my bed, if you're new to my channel, is Tulsi Holy Basil. I'm going to be harvesting probably a lot of this week so that I can get another whole batch of Tulsi Holy Basil before the summer is completely done.
Even though it was so hot that day, there's something about harvesting that is so relaxing and peaceful while giving you joy at the same time that you're gathering food for your family that's so nutritionally superior than anything you can get at the store.
And this bed that we harvested last week are Cherokee purple tomatoes. We don't have any ready for harvesting, but just a couple of these little yellow pear tomatoes. Now these bags right here are all of my cherry tomatoes. As I showed in my previous garden tour, we have sweetie cherry tomatoes, red cherry tomatoes, artisan bumblebee tomatoes. And the last video, I did not really show the color very well because of the lighting. So I'm hoping that this will do a lot better with the lighting here. But do you see that marbling? That's the artisan bumblebee. It is the most beautiful cherry tomato I've ever grown. They're so pretty. So that's what they look like up close. Now, real quick, before we start harvesting all these cherry tomatoes, I've shared in previous videos that this lemon basil right here, I did an experiment and I let it grow as tall as the tomato plant. Well, it stopped right about here, and it's not like it has flowers going out to every tomato branch and leaf. But this morning, you guys, I found a hornworm on there. So I'll insert a clip of it right here. But like I said in previous videos, you're not going to be completely 100% hornworm free no matter what you do. The best thing to always do is to always go outside and check your garden. And a lot of times you'll find those little grenade looking poops. I can't find any here right now. I think they kind of just blew away, or I don't know, went into the soil. But that's how you know that you'll have them, or if you see the leaves. And really what happened was I had seen those leaves right here were gone. And so that's what made me come outside, and I found one over here this morning. And then when I was checking all of them is when I found that one there this morning. So the best thing to do is just check your garden on a daily basis.
Here's the first hornworm I found on the bare branches that I mentioned that I saw this morning. This little guy is eating away at my tomatoes that I'll show you later on. While these worms are really gross and have been on a lot of my tomato plants this year, and all they do is eat and poop, they really are quite fascinating. And there's the hornworm that was on my tomato plant that had the basil growing with it.
Okay, so I want to show you real quick when hornworms do some damage. You can see they don't just eat your leaves, but they also eat your tomatoes. This was what I had found from this morning. And ooh, was he munching away. Look at how many tomatoes he got into. They're so funny. They really are. They're the funniest looking things. Their little eyes, and they're just so lime green. They look like something that should be in a cartoon. But anyways, always check your garden every day. That's really the best way to check pest control, like being pest control or checking pest pressure, is just to always check your garden on a daily basis. That's what's helped me. Even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, you put your timer on, do a quick look through on everything, make sure you don't see any leaves that are bitten or any poops or anything like that, and you should be good to go. Okay, I want to quickly add, because I'm in a little shady spot right now, it is super hot outside, but I want to continue to encourage those who watch my videos to keep on gardening, keep on with the hard work, because it is really the most rewarding thing you could ever do is garden and grow your own food. I know for you other gardeners that have been doing this for a long time, you understand the hard work, but the joys that come along with it. And for those that are new, because I'm on my third year of gardening, for those that are still new to gardening, I know there might be a lot of trial and errors, successes and failures. There might be a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of gray and, it's not just black or white with gardening. There's a lot of gray areas, but I want to continue to encourage you to keep going because it is really the most rewarding thing that you can do for yourself and your family. And that is grow your own food and have it right at your kitchen table for your meals. So be encouraged. And I just wanted to add that and share that with you. Now, I don't have any new reports on these metal beds other than I think I got some of the tomatoes mixed up again because this one does not look like a watermelon beefsteak because this bed is supposed to be watermelon beefsteaks and those look like pear tomatoes. But other than the basil doing really well, the Kellogg's tomatoes haven't blossomed at all and neither have the watermelon beefsteak. But these dahlias on the corner are doing amazing. And I love that I've been able to cut these for a centerpiece for my counter. Now here's a close-up of my comfrey plant. This one I plan to still make a fertilizer out of. I tried once before, but it didn't really turn out well. So I found another video and I'm hoping to try out what she did, and if it's a success, I'm going to definitely share with you because this is a great way to make fertilizer because fertilizers are expensive as everything is expensive now. So hopefully this video will be of help to me and I can make a homemade fertilizer. And here's my sweet little bush Roma tomatoes, and this one that wasn't ready last week is finally ready. I love these plants because they don't get very tall like a lot of my other tomato plants right here. They're determinate, so they only get so tall, like maybe 2-3 feet high, maybe 4 feet. And they're just great to fit into little spaces or if you just want to cram a whole bunch of plants like I do in my garden space. And now onto my San Martinos. These also have a lot more to harvest. Last week we harvested a whole bunch and now we're going to harvest some more.
Even though the month of August is still going strong and it's still busy, at least in my zone 8B, it's so gratifying to be harvesting all the food that I worked so hard for the months leading up to this.
And here is the Kentucky Wonder trellis of green beans. You guys, we're getting some green beans. I'm excited. So we're going to harvest a few today, but I do have a feeling that we're going to be harvesting a lot in the next couple of weeks to come. You see all those? I knew these were going to be hard to harvest because of the position. Okay, remember when I said that they were growing in and through my tomato plants? Yeah, they're growing in there. So let's see if we could harvest some. Yeah, you guys, look at all the Kentucky Wonder green beans. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for these. So excited. Now, before I share my bucket garden behind me, because I've seen a lot of great success with the bucket garden, and sorry if you hear some thunder in the background, it looks like we have a storm coming through here. But this is the new Lemix, I think I'm saying that correctly, jalapeno, and that's how they're supposed to look. You can see they're still trying to change color, but it's gonna be like a yellow. It is such a beautiful jalapeno. I had grown a bunch of these last year, and what I did was I blended them up and made like a paste, and then I put it in my freeze dryer and I made a powder. But this one has just a ton of fruits. By the way, I want to share this with you because I noticed this. If you see this right here on top of the bamboo, let me see if I can get it close up. Wasps do this. I've seen wasps go in there and put this in here. I'm not sure why they do it. I've taken them out, but I haven't seen any of them come out. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but I just thought I'd share that with you because that was something I observed in my garden. And then here's some jalapenos. Oh, this one looks like it's ready. Yeah, I need to harvest this one. I learned when there's a lot of lines on it like this, that they're super hot. So I don't know how true that is, but I heard that. And then look at all the fruit on here. This is just a regular jalapeno. So, and then these are my poblanos. These have been giving me so many peppers this summer, even more than my bell peppers. I did just harvest a whole bunch with you, but look at how many more are ready to harvest. I'm gonna take this one. The other ones are still pretty small. Oop, look at that, dropped it. There's another one here, and then I still have my bell peppers. They're not quite ready yet. I want to get them big, and they also turn red, which makes them a whole lot sweeter. So I'm waiting for those to get larger and to turn red. Look at the harvest so far. It's so beautiful. Every week, you guys, in my backyard. This is exciting. So to give you an update on all of these bags, these right here are my watermelons. They're not doing too good. They really are not. This one so far is still here, so I might get one little sugar baby because they all keep burning like this. I don't know what's going on, but that's what's happening with that. I might end up taking those out in the next couple weeks. And then I did take out that baby blue pumpkin and I just put in some bush green beans because these I usually do very well with bush green beans, and I'm hoping to get a whole bunch before the summer is over. And I'm just gonna keep growing them until I can't grow them anymore. Now in the back here is my bucket garden, and then these are just all extra bags. And while there's nothing ready to be harvested right now, there's so much fruit, and I'm just gonna show you all the fruit that is growing on these tomato plants.
And the bamboo sticks that are sticking out of the buckets are ones that I bought a year or two ago, and I just use those for trellises. I've also gathered really tall branches, and I've used that for trellises as well.
This one I'll definitely harvest. And this one too. And if anyone is interested in how I put these buckets together, I will leave a link in the description below because it was really easy. All of these buckets were for free. The pallets I was able to get for free, and it really did not cost me much money to grow in these buckets. In fact, in that video at the very end, I give a total breakdown of the cost and everything that it costs for me to put together. And the pallets are not a must. It's just because my land back here slopes, and This part of my land is the flattest, even though there's some bumpy areas, but right about here and going up, it starts to incline, which is why we put them on the pallets. So like I said, it's not a must. I just do it so that the buckets are even. But I've really enjoyed growing in these buckets, and I'm looking forward to growing in them in the fall as well. Now, all of these bags right here are my squashes, and honestly, I don't know. I'm not feeling successful with these squashes at all. Oh, see, look what happened. That is probably definitely a vine borer issue right here. Let me see. Yeah, it has to be, because it's like completely, because we've been watering really well. So unfortunately, that's another squash plant that is just not doing well. I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying. I don't like to give up easily, so we'll see. Hopefully I get a squash, guys. And I don't think I shared this last time. I have quite a bit of lavender in some spots, like in my metal beds, but I also have them in these bags. This one looks like it got burnt up, so hopefully this comes back next year. But it smells so pretty, and I would highly encourage to have lavender because it is just such a relaxing smell, and there's so many uses that you could use it with. And then here's all of my lemon balm, which I will be harvesting that this week. I have to, otherwise it's gonna go bad on me. So, but look how beautiful it is. And lemon balm can be used for so many things. I freeze dry mine, and I put it in my water every couple days. And we most definitely have some green beans to pick. So, oh, look at all those white flies. I'm telling you, they're so bad this year. Am I the only one that has been having them so bad this year? Let's see, is there any more? No, but what I do want to show you is I had planted some more green beans in here. Let's see, have they popped up yet? Yes, they have. See, you see this right here? I planted one, so there is 5 in here. So I planted one next to each green bean plant so that when this one is done and dead, I've got a backup right here. And then when this one gets big, I'm going to plant another one if I can still fit in another bush green bean so I can have a continuous supply of green beans. So thanks for stopping by and walking through the garden with me and harvesting. As you can tell, it's going to start raining and thunderstorming right now, but I so appreciate you coming by, and definitely be subscribed because I'm going to be giving weekly garden tours and harvest videos so that you can see the growth and transformation of my garden every week. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
And here is the final harvest. I had to bring it into the garage because it was pouring rain and thunderstorming, as you saw. But I've been so blessed and so thrilled with the amount of food I've been harvesting on a weekly basis. We have enjoyed having fresh vegetables every week, which brings me so much joy. I also wanted to quickly show you these onions and garlic here at the end. I have harvest videos that I did with these, but the idea that I had was to leave these in the garage without having to preserve or process them and just grab these as I needed them. So I kept the peels on as well as some of the soil, and so far it has worked really well.